With the increase of students living on campus at UNT comes a demand for housing off campus. The on-campus housing shortage has caused many students to hunt for an affordable place to live.
I've been living off campus since August. It was honestly kind of really hard. We started kind of late in the game. We didn't start looking until about March of last year, which sounds like it wouldn't be that late, but then we found out that everyone was signing their leases in like October because of the housing shortage on campus. And so whenever we were looking, it took us a while to actually find an apartment that was available. My apartment alone is on some of the lower sides that I've seen. But on average, I know from what most of my friends are paying is $1,000 plus per person per month.
With an increased demand for student living in Denton comes an increase in costs to rent those places.
As far as I know, all prices are going up next year. At least for us alone, our rent is going up over $50. I have friends in other apartments that their rent is going up $100, $150 next year. I think that since there's not enough dorms on campus to house the freshmen alone, that's forcing all upperclassmen to find new places to live, and there's only so many apartments in Denton. I know especially my roommate, she's having to look at maybe moving homes eventually just with the increase in prices, and then that puts me at a disadvantage of where to live. But that's just because we can't always afford to pay the rent, especially when we're full-time students and we have to buy groceries, we have to buy gas for our cars, we have to do all those things in order to get to and from the jobs that we're trying to work in order to afford these things. And I've heard something about how, well, if you can afford to go to college, then you can afford the rent as well. But at the end of the day, that's not the case. In order to live in an apartment is a huge money commitment. As college students, it should be a little bit more lenient as far as pricing. And I know that I've talked to friends that go to other schools in other college towns, and their rates are drastically lower than ours for essentially the same apartments.
Across town, students are facing the same struggles.
Of all places. Love Denton, but come on, apartments should not be $800, $900 a month for a 4x4. The past 2-3 months have been extremely stressful because it's oh, I'm not gonna make rent this month. In the back of my mind, I'm like, can I afford $800 a month plus utilities? So bumped it up to $850, making $15 an hour part-time. No, probably not. I think a lot of students go into it I'll be living with my friends, I'll have a community, it's fully furnished, it's close to campus. All those things end up outweighing the cost, so we kind of just suffer through trying to pay for everything.
With more students being admitted to UNT each year, how will the student living apartments deal with the influx in students?